Now I will show you by running some exploits on Ubuntu 12.04. So as in earlier video we installed 12.04.2. Now I have some exploits that I have kept in the shared folder that is present with me. So this is my shared folder. As you remember in previous video, this is my shared folder that was present, and these are the 3 exploits that I'll be trying to execute and get the root privilege. 2 of them are for privilege escalation, and these 2 are for privilege escalation, and this one is for kernel panic. So when I do this, it won't allow you to do anything else after that. So this is the last exploit that I'll execute in this particular sequence. So first this, then this, and then this. So let's get started. So as we had already everything in place, I'll try to see if I can SSH. If this doesn't work, then I'll do Vagrant up and then SSH, but I didn't shut it down from last time. So now here I am. If I go to the shared directory, Vagrant data, this, as you recollect, this was hard-coded in the main.py script. You can change this anytime you want, but this should be done before creation of the VM. So this is my in order. This is my in order. Now I'll see what this actually asks me to do. So for now our Ubuntu is this, and we have to execute this. So we want to actually get the privilege escalation. So in this particular program, he actually the author actually used 3.2, which was option 0, but in our case we'll actually use option 2 because this is what our Ubuntu is, and this is the command that we'll use to compile with. So I'll just copy it and simply do it. So now I see this is the case. Now I execute this, and this is the argument that we need to pass. But before doing this, let's see the ID what's present. So this is the Vagrant user. We'd get a root. We should get a root in case this is successful. So this is the true case. So now it sees everything. Yeah, now as you can see, if I do this, you are into root. So this thing actually works. So there's another way to check. You can actually put 0. So this should not actually allow you to get root because it is specifically for some other version. Same thing goes for option 1. So these 2 might fail somewhere down the line during the kernel, but what we actually wanted was this, and this successfully works. So this is one exploit working for you. Now we'll jump onto this. Let's see what it actually says to do us. So there is nothing, but most probably I think I just have to compile it and execute this. So let's give it a name just for our sake. Again I have this ID. So as you can see, we have Vagrant. Now I execute. It's searching for, it's triggering the shell code, launching the shell. So as you see now, in these cases also it works successfully for this. So since these are basic kernel exploits, you don't need any packages as such in order to exploit to get to the root, because these vulnerabilities were present in the kernel itself. In case you want to exploit some other packages, vulnerabilities in those packages, you might have to install it using Puppet Lab, either Puppet Lab modules or using shells provisioning, or you can even log into the machine and then modify the packages in case you want to exploit that. So in this particular example, I will be going through the kernel exploits only, not exploiting multiple packages, because that would require client and server sort of stuff. So I would like to keep it simple. So as you can see, this thing also works. Now it's time to run this panic. So this actually does nothing. It will kill your everything. It won't allow you to do anything after that. So it should not do. It should not allow us to do. But let's see if that thing works or not. So this is the compilation command. So this wall is generally for ignoring all the warnings, and so this is the executable file that we have with us. And if we do this, it says panic. So it might look like you are actually going through something. it is doing something, but we'll just wait. Now the volume of my processor fan has increased, but I don't think it has anything to do with this particular panic, because my computer is not that much powerful when it comes to Ubuntu. That's the paradox, but yet. So now if I try to press enter, I won't be able to do anything. In ideal scenario, if I try to open a new terminal and try to SSH into it, into the machine in which my exploit is running, this should actually work, because in case if everything goes smoothly, Vagrant SSH should execute properly. But since in this case everything is, now I'm pressing enter here, as you can see there is nothing happening. If I press Ctrl C, nothing is happening. So at this moment everything is, it's a sort of denial of service attack. So this was the one exploit that was provided for this. So as you can see, this Vagrant SSH is also getting disturbed at this very moment. So this won't allow you to log in into this particular system. Even if you try to halt it, it won't let you do. So the halt, as we discussed earlier, it was a basic shutdown of the machine, a normal shutdown, but it won't allow you to do that as well. So yeah, so these are the 3 to 4 exploits that are for particular Ubuntu 12.04. As I said again, these boxes were readily available, yeah, but after a bit of research I had to find it. But in case you want a particular specific kernel version of your own that is not present in public repositories, you might have to go through the long way. That is, first grab the ISO which you want, the Ubuntu, install it on your VirtualBox, create the virtual machine, get the deb packages for the kernel that you want to install those kernels, create reboot, update the grub of kernel, reboot. It should allow you to boot through the other kernel, and then you can actually create a box of that particular virtual machine using VirtualBox examples that are provided in the vagrantup.com. So, and then you can actually create a .box image for that particular whole machine, and that should actually work out for you. But that's a long shot, and for testing, if you want to create it, while it might create to you, as we can see at this point of time, it worked, but at a very later point of time. Now I haven't seen this behavior as well. Now let's see what it does after doing SSH. So it actually, the halt was working here. Probably halt actually worked a little bit later, but as you could see, this panic was actually created and we could not do anything at this point of time, so that the machine got stuck. So that's pretty much about this.